A bit.
Oh.
I can't see.
We're live, by the way.
Oh. Do I look like I just got out of bed? I think I do.
Okay.
Hello, guys. I'm Miriam, co-founder and COO of Keto Chow.
I'm Chris, also a co-founder, president, and the technical guy who forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb before we started. Anyway, so do you want me to sit closer to you?
Always.
All right, weirdo. Anyway.
Not weird.
Well, let's see. So here we are. Oh yeah, technical guy. If you're brand new to Keto Chow, it's a nutritionally complete meal designed to make doing keto easy. We also have some electrolyte supplements that are amazing for everyday use and for keeping the dreaded keto flu away.
We do these live streams to, oh no, I can't remember my lines.
To help keep us accountable.
Oh no, that wasn't the right line. That was the thing. I'm like, thanks for joining us today, guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Anyway, I accidentally got rid of all the comments that happened before. Mimi is on.
Hi, Mimi.
Said tried the orange mango and it's so good,
oh,
but I still have to try the Pina Colada. But I only have one from the Chow Club. Shauna says, good morning, Chris and Miriam. Jerry likes the solar panel.
I know, right? I just literally said, no solar panel in the background. He's like, no, yes.
Yep, okay. It's actually 3 solar panels if you want to get technical. It's
and
3 100s.
And stuff you can actually see over Chris's shoulder a little bit.
Super high quality production. Yeah. Anyway, Joyce says, good morning. Kathleen says, good July 4th Eve. 4th Eve. Enjoy your getaway, Bears.
Thank you.
We were supposed to have made the
drop biscuits,
the Keto Chow drop biscuits this morning, but I got up and was doing other stuff and completely forgot.
And I was sleeping because it's the weekend and I can.
So, no drop biscuits unless we decide to make some. But
that's gonna be sad biscuits and gravy without the biscuits. Yeah. So either we have a really late breakfast, which is fine with us. We like late breakfasts.
Yeah, we could always switch the biscuits and gravy to Monday morning.
Yeah, we could.
Yep. Let's see. Sonia says your ice cream was looking yummy. Shonda says good morning. Devin says good morning. Gail says good morning, everyone. Happy Independence Day.
Yeah.
Rhonda says good morning, Bears and Chow fam. Becky says good morning from Michigan.
Ooh.
Debbie says love the orange mango and chocolate peanut butter.
Nice.
Shonda says I was wondering if I can use MCT oil as a fat source.
You can. I would recommend you use it with something else so you don't have like 4 tablespoons of MCT oil because that'll just go right through you. But you can use that even in small amounts or, whatever. Mm-hmm. But you can use it with heavy cream, you can use it with butter, or you can use it by itself. Play with it what you want. But as long as you know the MCT oil goes through people when they have too much of it, then you can make an informed decision.
It also tends to cause HDL to go down and triglycerides to go up based on some experimenting that we've been doing. So if you have a reason to increase your ketones, then it's a good way to do it. It's super, just blue sky, no clouds today. MJ says, lovely Saturday in Virginia. It was 65 degrees when I walked this AM at 8 a.m.
It's probably around 60 here now.
It's if it stayed this all day,
no way.
It's going to probably get up to 100 today. Patricia says, good morning. I'm on month 2 of Chow Club and love it. Yes, Orange Mango Rocks.
Yes, thank you.
Sonia says, happy weekend, Bears. Madeline is on. Easy Zell says, good morning, everyone. Hope everyone has a great holiday weekend.
Too.
Dennis says, good morning, Getaway Bears. Shauna says, can you run RV power while traveling with a solar panel? So we could mount. I've actually spec'd out the space for putting the panels on my roof of the RV. These ones you just throw them up against. It's actually on 2 pallets sitting on a thing of dirt.
Ground.
Yeah.
Sitting on the ground.
It generates more than enough power to completely recharge everything that was done during the night. We technically can run the air conditioning off using the inverter that I just reinstalled. The other inverter had a problem. The other inverter had a problem. I had to replace it. The new one is working just great, and you can run the microwave and all the other stuff off the battery power, which is charged by the solar. It just takes a couple hours to charge it up. I did discover that the refrigerator pulls 300 watts, unless it's running on propane. What did you want to say?
If you have a problem, I'll solve it.
Check out the beat. DJ revolves it. Rachel says, good morning, guys. Becky says, good morning, everyone. Have a safe 4th. Chad says, good morning, Chow crew.
Happy 4th, you guys.
Lisa's
too.
on. Says, good morning, all. Happy to say I've lost 50 pounds so far.
Lisa, you're amazing.
It is interesting to me, Lisa, how much better success all the people on Reverse Season 2 had using ketogenic diets than the traditional recommendations of the ADA and everything like that. So it's just great to see the progress you all have made. Marie says, I'm doing Keto Chow biscuits and gravy tonight. Send some our way, because we forgot to make some.
We have to stop.
It's my husband's favorite meal.
Oh, it's my husband's favorite meal, too.
The funny thing is, I had never had biscuits and gravy ever until I started working at Hardee's.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, how have I never had this before? And of course, it was normal biscuits. When I was in Provo before going to Chile, they had biscuits and gravy for breakfast almost every day, and I was like, I was all over that.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's so funny to me. Biscuits and gravy is just something I had never had. Candace says, hi, all Keto Chow family. I had chocolate Keto Chow with cinnamon. Andrea says, morning, all. Yolanda says, good morning. KS says, good morning. It's wonderful. You are getting a well-deserved long weekend.
Yes.
I was thinking in my head as we were driving along behind a really slow Class A motorhome yesterday, that we have gotten to the point in the business where we were able to, I took off a bit early.
Yeah, I left early too.
And you took off a bit early, and we were able to have confidence that our team, I didn't have to worry about locking up. It was great. It was fantastic. We have such a great team.
Yeah, we've been able to leave for a while. The problem is when we come back and there's still so much stuff to do.
Oh my gosh.
So
it was like 70 emails just before we left. I actually stopped, went to a computer, selected them, and said, snooze until Tuesday. I love that feature. Anyway, Glenda says happy Saturday. Carol says happy Saturday. Lynette says good morning. I hope you have a great holiday weekend. What are we planning on? So we were having biscuits and gravy, but now it's like eggs and bacon and sausage.
Well, we just have eggs, bacon, sausage. I didn't bring stuff for pancakes, but we have that stuff.
We do have stuff for pancakes,
so we can make pancakes. I'm not sure if we
eggs, bacon, and sausage is going to be good. We have some Walden Farms syrup.
Oh, do we?
And some of the we have syrup. We're good to go.
Yes.
But I'm thinking bacon, eggs, and sausage is going to be just fine.
The only reason why I think about pancakes is because Max can't eat eggs.
Okay.
And then he'll eat all of the sausage and bacon because that'll be the only thing.
I brought a lot. I brought a 3-pound box of sausage patties.
Okay.
Sausage patties. Yeah, they were hard to find because Sam's Club they're trying to copy the layout of Costco. And so I couldn't find anything. It took me forever to find it.
So we were supposed to have my brother and his family come and another brother come. And then they canceled. And so we have a lot more food than we probably really need. So we'll be okay, whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay. I just got rid of a troll. Shelly says, good morning. Does the Chow Club subscription box includes meals besides shakes, i.e. soups, etc.? So this most recent one had the savory chicken soup in it.
Yeah.
Which you can use to make the drop biscuits.
It's
amazing.
We won't make the savories the big bag.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yes, but so it does include a lot of the Keto Chow meal replacement, mixes, which are primarily just used for shakes. Traditionally, we haven't included stuff that isn't Keto Chow, just because that's what Keto Chow is all about. But there's always a surprise in there. So we're already working on the August one.
Well, we're already working on September. We're already packaging the August one.
Smellin says, good morning. I'm a newbie to Keto Chow and loving all the flavors I've tried so far, although the pumpkin spice caramel and caramel macchiato are my favorites.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you like pumpkin spice caramel, there's a caramel or a pumpkin sausage soup recipe on the site that uses, is it Italian sausage? No, it's just pork sausage.
It just uses sausage. Stop kicking the table.
Stop kicking the table.
I'm not kicking the table. It's you. Anyway, it's a great recipe.
It's really good.
I was surprised at how I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I did.
Keep looking in the freezer and there's none.
Yep. Melly says, good morning. We are set up at the Indian Lake for the fireworks tonight.
Yay.
We're on top of the mountain looking down.
Yeah, so we're just going to put our chairs on the edge of our property, and it's just this beautiful view, and we'll just be able to watch it.
We should be able to see Ephraim, Utah's fireworks displays and Mount Pleasant's fireworks. Cool. Jerry says, my favorite meal is breakfast followed by dinner. Let's see. Glenda, I got rid of the troll. Elizabeth says, since you deleted me, a wonderful morning and a safe holiday to all. I'm not sure what that's about. I remember deleting her, Elizabeth. Rhonda says, I still never had better biscuits and gravy. Yeah. MJ says, ate apple pie, Keto Chow mini chaffles this morning, made the house smell yummy.
Oh, that does sound good.
Elizabeth says, you have a great team because you guys are great.
Oh, thank you.
Juice says, how can I get a Keto Chow T-shirt?
Okay, so we do have the T-shirts, but they're Amazon print on demand. We actually used to carry them in store, and it was
terrible.
It was just hard to keep track of all the sizes, and it never seemed to have the size you needed.
And they were more expensive too.
They were a lot more expensive. So this way they're less expensive, and you get them directly shipped from Amazon. And we just upload the design. So they're on our site
under shop. It's T-shirts and other merch. Something like that.
Something like that, or other something.
Let's see. Mimi says, I got an email from Team Keto that there's a meal replacement has named Keto on it, and they are using sucralose in the shake. Get ours, which is clean. Theirs has cornstarch. What a joke. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Lynn says, troll is gone. Jerry says, spam, eggs, bacon, and spam. Ashley says, should have bacon pancakes. I made Joe's pancakes and added bacon to them while cooking.
Ooh, yeah.
MJ says, doesn't sound like you'll starve. Nope.
Yeah. We will be fine.
And what chances are I'll only eat twice today?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, we have our kids and they have a couple of friends, and so I feel like we can't wait for the biscuits because it would take like an hour and a half.
Boy, says everyone, please have a safe and awesome July 4th.
Yeah,
Candace says that her birthday is in August.
Really?
Beliv says, thanks for that. Don't get what makes people feel like they need to heckle people who are making progress. Smelton says, will you ever make a custom subscription box where you can pick and choose what you get? So
we would love to do that.
Currently, and actually it's been this way for a long time. If you go to shop Ketochow Subscriptions, there's a subscription option where you can pick the big bags that you want and the interval that you want them delivered on. So that means that you can get them every 2 weeks, every 6 weeks. You can get any flavors that you want. So that option is and will continue to be available. As far as a subscription box, the problem is the way that the Chow Clubs are made. They're put together by a crack team of teenagers who assemble all of them ahead of time. And so all of them are exactly the same. That allows us to do this whole economy of scales thing where they're all just the same. And then we get a bunch of the labels that are printed off for all of the Chow Clubs. And the only difference between the boxes is the label, which determines who it's going to. So there's like, we've had people say, hey, if I order about the same time my Chow Club ships, can you toss in some electrolytes or something like that? And we're like, no, there's no way to do it.
Normally on orders, we can do stuff like that, but we can't in the Chow Club just because it's already pre-made.
And it's when you get to all the different subscription box, like Keto Delivered or Keto Box, things like that, or just any traditional subscription box, they're always surprised. Sometimes they'll tell you what's in them ahead of time, but all of the boxes are always exactly the same. And that's just kind of how subscription boxes work, unfortunately. So,
or at least the surprise boxes. Right?
Yep. Becky wants to know what your shirt says.
Oh, what does my shirt say?
Happy Camper.
Happy Camper.
Yeah, there you go. Jessica says, good morning. Blind Cheese says, the troll said keto is only good for diabetics. Is that true? Only good for? No. Is it good for diabetics? Lisa, what do you say?
I think so.
A lot of people who are on diabetes have amazing results. Oh my gosh, who have diabetes have amazing results, can reverse their diabetes, get off medication, and go back to normal life eating ancestrally appropriate foods. Hey, Sam. There are a lot of other people who, now, the problem that person is thinking about is what's called ketoacidosis.
Okay.
Which is where if you're type 1 diabetic and you're not properly treating it, your body will go into this kind of a race condition where you don't have enough glucose getting into your cells, and so your body starts producing ketones. We actually have a blog post about the difference between ketosis and ketoacidosis.
Because ketoacidosis is bad.
It is a thing, and it is bad. Unfortunately, most people's experience with keto is ketoacidosis that they're trained about when they're like in medical school or something like that. Ketoacidosis is really bad, and you get to a ketone level of around 20 or so. Nutritional ketosis, the most people usually get up to, is between 3 and 5. So we're talking order of magnitude different. Babies are born in a state of ketosis. They can't, little children, return to ketosis after just a couple of hours because their bodies are usually metabolically they're able to handle stuff like that.
Burn off all the food that they eat.
Yep. So is it only good for diabetics? Absolutely not. Is a proper human diet and an ancestrally appropriate diet where you don't eat refined carbohydrates and sugars good for everyone? I doubt that anybody would argue that it's better to eat a bunch of pasta.
Yeah.
Or dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets.
Or candy.
Like
what's better?
Let's see. Seagirl says Ketochow electrolytes. Is there too much? If you have too much, your body will excrete it, and you'll just have expensive pee. Anyway, I tend to be lacking in potassium. I was in the hospital, and they kept giving me potassium pills. They were scratching their heads wondering why before keto.
Oh, wow.
But yeah.
You do need to be careful with potassium, though.
If you get too much, it can cause heart conditions. But too little is actually what will more than happen to most people. But your body does know what to do if you have too much salt, if you have too much potassium and too much magnesium. It just says, get rid of that. And usually when you start to get to that point, it will trigger an aversion. So you will go to drink something or eat something that has that in it, and you'll be like, I'm not feeling like it. Don't force yourself to eat if you don't feel like you need to. Jessica has to go run to meet with a realtor.
Okay, have fun.
Smelts said I didn't see it on the website, so thank you. Elizabeth says you said you missed the first ones. That's what I mean. Deleted was the wrong word. Oh, okay, sorry. Jerry says, any thoughts of just having the front Keto Chow on the shirt without the back print? I can make that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could even make it a little small, cute, like.
Yeah, this one actually doesn't have anything on the back.
Yeah.
Blue says whole foods and low carbs are good for everyone. Proper human diet. Let's see. Rayon says I got the Team Keto email too. I was super weird. They didn't name the company, just said it a shake company.
Wow.
Let's see. Dana says Low Chower's been up since.
The company's called Team Keto.
I don't know. No, Team Keto is the one that sent the email. Dana says, been up since 3:15, headed to Alabama with a banjo on her knee. Oh, wait. To see my sister-in-law for a week. Almost there. Lord, 2 hours to go.
Wow, that's awesome.
Older Pennsylvania got her flask yesterday. Yay. And my base powder's here now. I'm just waiting for my Equip to show up. It's been a hard week without my favorite Keto Chow. Because she's doing
no dairy.
No dairy. Blue Dove says, what's on the back of the Keto Chow shirt? So this one, like I said, has nothing on it. The other ones have a keto food pyramid on it. It's actually really fun. I was standing in the line and people were like, what? You can't have pasta on keto. I'm like, oh, they're reading my shirt.
Yeah.
Jerry says, never ever get rid of the chocolate peanut butter. Why would I do that? That's crazy talk,
chocolate
man.
Peanut butter is amazing.
I would have a mutiny here with Patty if that ever happened. Shauna says, Chow Club box, power of the pre-pack.
Right.
There you go. Elizabeth
That's
says,
why we can price it lower too.
yes.
Because it's prepackaged.
Super far behind on comments. Jerry says, happy camper. Happy camper. Thank you, says Cute Miriam. Shauna says, I have reversed my type 2 diabetes with no meds, proper human diet for me. Blind Cheese, how is keto good? Says, how is keto good for a regular person like me? So the short version of that is eating the proper human diet, which we think keto is. And if you call it the proper human diet, which it is, it kind of, a lot of the questions tend to go away, but it will help you be more healthy. Your body isn't designed to eat foods that are associated with, I guess, harvest time all year long, which is what we do on the modern diet. It's harvest time all the time. Our ancestors wouldn't have eaten sugars and carbs and stuff like that, except at that time of year when it was time to fatten up for winter.
And that's what you do. You eat as much as you can and you sleep and you gain a little bit of weight so that you don't starve come, January.
And for people like me who spent all those years ruining their metabolism, I don't know that I can ever stop doing a ketogenic diet. Elizabeth says, yeah, type 2 diabetes is reversible, but type 1 is not. But keto is great for both.
Yep.
She's a type 1.
Oh, thank you, Elizabeth.
Think of all the money you're saving on insulin.
Yeah,
Smelton says, will the caramel macchiato single packs be available in the Go Pack?
It says bulk pack. Is that what she
That's
means?
what she means, is the Go Pack.
I don't think so right now, since it's so new.
Fly by my head.
We don't even know if we're going to keep the Go Packs around. We've just been playing with it for the last couple of months.
Yep. Andrew says, my week goal was 70 miles, and I managed 89 miles walking, running. Keto Chow has been my key this week.
Yay!
Let's see. Blind Shoe says, but don't you need carbs to survive? That's a really good question. If you required carbs in order to survive, our ancestors would have died before they were able to reproduce and have us, because carbohydrates are not always available. And if you required carbohydrates to survive, no one would be able to fast longer than about a day. Yeah. And it's quite easy to go on a fast where all you're doing is drinking water and having electrolytes for 3, 4, 7, 21 days.
You said quite easy. Did you mean?
Our bodies are able to do it. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to do it. And it's something that you have to work up to. But the cool thing about our bodies there are tissues in our cells, in our body, that absolutely require glucose.
Yes. So,
like red blood cells. You can't give them anything but glucose. But your liver is able to make glucose using the glycerol that's in triglycerides, using fat, and using protein. Any carbohydrates that you need, your body can make.
Isn't it cool?
It's super
so cool.
In fact, there is no such thing as a required carbohydrates. We have no requirement for carbohydrates. We do have requirements for amino acids, and we do have requirements for certain fats. If you do not eat those, you cannot live. But there's no requirement for carbohydrates unless you are a cow or a ruminant. Lisa says, yes, I've cut my insulin by 2/3, and I'm healthiest I've been in years. Go keto. Fly in my face. Okay. Blind Cheese says, what do you mean it helps with mental clarity? Doesn't your brain function with oxygen? Okay, so here's another fun thing. This has been proven with studies that were done by the Navy. They actually investigated ketogenic diets because it helps reduce oxygen toxicity when you're a Navy SEAL. They're like, hey, that's cool. Ketogenic metabolism in the Krebs cycle. This is burning a fuel using oxygen to make cell energy. You can make more adenosine triphosphate, ATP, per unit of oxygen using ketones than any other energy substrate. Meaning if you don't have enough oxygen, ketones will help your cells survive. Also, your brain preferentially will use ketones over any other energy substrate as well, which is why ketogenic diets have been used for almost centuries now in the treatment of epilepsy. And yeah, it's actually really good for your brain. Anyhow, let's see. Blanchie says, but carbs are needed or you would get way too skinny. You would not get too skinny. You would get to a healthy weight. As long as you don't snack, which is my problem right here, your body will get to a healthy weight. For some people, that's actually putting on weight using a ketogenic diet. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily a weight loss diet, but a lot of people use it for that.
But you also can gain weight on keto if
you
eat too much. Yep. So you just have to figure out what your body wants.
Yep. MJ says, because I love sugar, I suspect it took me 55 years to return to ketosis. Hunger went away, no more low blood sugars.
Oh, good.
Blue Dove says, I went to my doctor on the 30th. He advised me again, as always, to watch my salt intake. Then my labs came back and my sodium was actually low.
That's what I was going to guess with the potassium, was that is your sodium low because, and then your potassium is, or you're taking potassium because you didn't have enough sodium.
Blind She says these guys are keto experts, right? I don't know about experts. We've just been doing it a while, and we've watched a lot of videos, and we've listened to a lot of podcasts, which is a really good way
to. Gone to a bunch of conferences.
Yep. I wouldn't consider myself an expert. KS, as I understand it, most are pre-diabetic up to 20 years before being diagnosed. Keto saved me from that, and it's a keto carnivore fasting lifestyle. Forever for me by choice. It saved my life. Mm-hmm. Rhonda wants to know if you're still doing protein-sparing modified fasts on the 5th.
Today's the last day of our 90-day Keto Chow challenge, so I'm ready to do something different.
Yep. Let's see. Anthony is recommending to Blind Cheese to check out Dr. Barry's YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mike is late. Blind Cheese says, but our ancestors did eat natural sugars from berries. Yes, they did.
Yeah, they did.
We stored in piles and we protected as our clear evidence is that.
Yep. So here's a couple of things with that. We have genetically altered our food so that it's bigger. Watermelons are bigger. Apples are bigger. Everything else is bigger, for one. And like Chris was saying earlier, you would eat a lot of that at harvest time.
You wouldn't be eating it every day.
Mm-hmm. And the food wouldn't be quite as sugar concentrated because it's changed, because we've made it change, because we like sugar. I mean, that's a matter of fact. We like sugar. It tastes good. That's why we eat it.
Yep.
So that's something.
Yeah, and that's kind of the crux of it, that they're ancestrally, we would have had potatoes and berries and stuff like that, but it would have been in an appropriate time and in appropriate amounts. We just have gone so far off the edge in our current diets.
Also, we would have had a lot of physical labor involved in growing and making of that food. And so when we come back home from working in the field for 10 hours, if you ate some bread, which took 3 hours to make, in the kettle over the fire, that would have been a real treat, and you would have burned it off because you had been exercising all day. Your metabolism was probably super high anyway because you just worked really hard. And me sitting down in front of a computer all day is not really working very hard.
So that's an ancestrally inappropriate activity.
I would say so. So, I mean, there's just a lot of factors to think about. And, we know that there's a lot of, processed foods. And, I mean, Chris gets real mad when we say processed foods, but what people mean
is a processed
by saying processed foods is foods with a ton of additives in it that are not necessary.
They've just condensed it down to the starch and the easily digestible carbohydrates.
Yeah, and then you're missing out on the really good stuff. Because if you think about what you're eating on the standard American diet, look at every meal. Are you eating nutrient-dense foods if you're having, crackers
French
and this,
fries,
or even cold cereal? Yes, it's fortified, but cold cereal and milk is full of sugar. The cold cereal is full of sugar. Can you live off that? Sure. But eventually your body's going to be like, I really need some more nutrients from other
Yep.
things. What else can you give me? Or
Shauna
take
has
it
a
from
good
your
question.
bones or take it from your body.
Yep.
Okay.
Can you heat up Keto Chow like is in the caramel macchiato?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we heat it up all the time. One thing we do like to tell people is if you heat it higher than 120 degrees, the vitamins in there will start to degrade. They don't go away, but they're just not as potent as they were at the first.
Yep. So don't eat
So,
it 3 meals a day for 6 months at a time if you're going to do that.
yeah, because you'll just be able to get the vitamins from somewhere else, but they're also still there. It's just not going to be quite as much of it, if that makes sense.
Yep. Kat says the human body is literally a walking miracle.
It is.
Blue says I've been getting less than 20 carbs of grams for well over a year. Still not skinny yet. Fingers are crossed. I'll get there eventually, losing at a nice, healthy rate.
Yep.
Van says carbs are even bad for most pets. I've started switching my pets' food to grain-free with a higher protein-fat ratio.
So I have a question. Have you noticed, do your pets have more energy on that?
I don't know. They say one of our dogs was switched by the vet. He was putting on too much weight.
There you go. Okay.
And a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people who have said that they switched their dog or their cat to basically a carnivore diet, and they're like, yes, it's more expensive to buy, per pound. My pet eats less, and they're happier and they're healthier and they're not getting all these problems.
Their teeth? Like, do they have teeth problems too? Because I know that you're supposed to brush their teeth. You know that, right? Animals' teeth.
Strangely enough, I've never brushed our chicken's teeth.
Weird.
Mike says Chris has gone full science. Not that I mind. Well, this is, and if you like berries, most people can enjoy them. Sometimes some of us do better without. We actually have some berries in the fridge right there that Miriam wants to make some stuff with, but we're not going to be growing crazy with the berries.
Yep.
Blind Cheese says, do either of you have medical degrees? I have no degree.
Yeah, I actually
not even an
school
associate's
for
degree.
Interior design. So it's okay if you don't believe us.
I do have several IT certifications, though.
It's all about what we've been learning for our own use, which is why, in the intro that we didn't say properly, we appreciate you guys being on our journey with us. Correct. Because we have been on a journey. We've been on keto for 7 years.
It's been a while.
Yeah. And we made Keto Chow, which is a shake, to be a tool that we can use in that journey.
My friends say I'm a tool. Let's see. Cindy says, why do so many pros say whey protein is not good for you? Use egg white protein. Whey protein digests very quickly. So if you are a bodybuilder and you are trying to build muscle, part of the process of building muscle is you're tearing the muscle fibers apart, you're causing distress, and so your body needs to build new structures with protein. In order to build that, you need to have available amino acids, and whey protein breaks down from the proteins to amino acids very quickly and efficiently, so your muscles are able to just really quickly build that. Other protein sources, such as egg whites, such as milk protein, which has the proteins in cheese, or meat protein, those digest slower. And so a lot of experts will say, hey, if you have problems with glucose control, you don't want to use a lot of whey protein because it just digests so quickly. That digestion and that those amino acids getting into your blood system will make your insulin go up, and it'll show up as a blood sugar response. It's funny. You can actually eat ground beef, and you will see a blood sugar response.
It doesn't mean it's a spike.
Yeah, and the problem, a lot of people say, it spiked my glucose. What do you mean by a spike? If someone's a type 2 diabetic and they're talking about a glucose spike, they're usually talking about like a 100-point spike. A lot of times when people are doing a ketogenic diet and they're like, such and such spiked my glucose, it's like, what do you mean? They're like, it went up by 5.
It's not really a spike.
That's not a spike.
Because just sitting here, my blood glucose has probably gone up and down by 5. And,
Miriam was wearing a continuous glucose monitor, teaching our daughter how to drive, and saw a rise of, what, 25?
Like 15 or 20
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. Because I was just sitting in the seat with her driving, and she's not bad or anything. It was just kind of funny.
So, yeah, to answer so we're back to egg white protein other types of protein tend to digest slower. And that's actually one of the reasons we use milk protein isolate in Keto Chow, because it does digest slower. So let's see. Susan says that she's interested in joining the PSMF on the 5th.
Oh, awesome.
KS says, I broke a 12-day fast, my longest so far, last night, with bone broth and a half scoop of savory chicken Keto Chow plus collagen, 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream powder, and Redmond salt. That's a good way to end the fast. Let's see. Blue says, if you want to talk to doctors, look up Dr. Barry, Dr. Siwis, and Dr. Berg is a chiropractor, though. Keto Dana says, SAD, Standard American Diet, speaks for itself, sad. Jerry says, working in front of a computer is work. It's just not physically demanding. Yeah. It is mentally demanding.
It is.
And considering the amount of calories that our brain burns, it is interesting. Jessica Rosas is on. Hey, Jessica. Kim says, my doctor was somewhat concerned my fasting blood glucose was 115. That it was so low or that it was so high?
Well, and that it should maybe be 100 or lower. But
yeah. It also depends on where you're at.
Yeah, depends.
And what time of day it is. It's if you ever get a continuous glucose monitor, it is interesting to see how it goes up and down with no external inputs. Like just sitting there doing something sometimes will make it go up 20 points. And what did you do? You thought about, I don't know, something that was...
You thought about driving down the mountain.
Yeah.
Driving up the mountain in the rainstorm.
Blue says, I lived off cereals and sandwiches for years. It got me morbidly obese and fatty liver, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Let's see. Kat says, yeah, Finn has so much more energy now. Dana says, my fur babies have always been grain-free. They have amazing teeth and lots of energy.
That's great.
Kim says, sorry, I split my comment. My A1C, however, was 5.5. Any ideas why that would be? I've been keto a long time and loving it.
With 115 and 5.5, you're probably fine.
Well, so
is that what she's saying?
It does take a while for A1C to come down. But I don't know. If your A1C is 5.5, you would expect on a ketogenic diet it to eventually get to like a 4.8 or 4.7. Maybe look at the stuff that you are eating. There may be like you're getting too many treats or you're getting, I don't know. That's an interesting thing.
And if he said he was worried, what did he say he was worried for?
I think it was at the 5.5. Because that is a bit higher than one would expect on a long-term ketogenic diet.
I'm at 5.5.
Okay, there you go. Elizabeth says you guys make more sense than most doctors I've heard.
Oh,
what are they doctors of? Lisa says I switched Gizmo to a carnivore diet. He just turned 14 and has puppy energy. Mike says they have no medical degree, but they host and attend conferences where real doctors do speak.
That's right, and we learn things.
I am not a doctor, but I play one on TV. Kat says that Finn is 12, was so lethargic until the switch. He's got that puppy energy again as well. Nice. Blue Dove says Sean Baker is also a medical doctor, as is Paul Saladino. Saladino favors adding in more carbs once you're fit, if that appeals to you.
Yep. Well, and Sean Baker is so carnivore, and Paul Saladino is carnivore too. But they do have, a lot of cool things to say. They both have books.
Now, Blanchie says, I just did a little bit of research and there are many studies saying that Q is bad for you. So a lot of the studies that you'll see talking about low carbohydrate, when they talk about low carbohydrate, they're comparing that to the standard American diet, which is around 300 grams of carbs a day. Most studies consider low carbohydrate to be under like 100 grams, which is not a ketogenic diet. You actually have to
like 20.
You have to look for studies that talk about a very low carbohydrate ketogenic diet. It actually has to say that. Very low carbohydrate ketogenic diet. There are some amazing studies done by Verta, among others, that talk about true ketogenic diets. Finney and Volek basically wrote the book on studies about ketogenic diets. So I would check out some of their work as well. Let's see. Anthony says, yeah, Blind Cheese, who paid for those studies? Read all the details. There was one paid for by, I think it's Bartilla, the manufacturer of pasta.
Oh, yes. And there have been a lot of a lot of advertisement run by sugar companies too. And so like a lot of
The whole keto
um
crotch thing was
paying
hilarious.
paying people to
Hmm
not like or to not give up sugar. So
Mike says I want to do PSMF, but even after hearing about this long, I do not fully understand it.
yeah, I have some books I'm reading this weekend.
So you just do regular keto
Hmm.
and lower the amount of fat and let your body use fat on your body. And you may need to up your protein. That's the
Yeah,
short version of it.
just have like hit your protein goal and just try not to have
Yep.
any fat. Thank you.
Oh boy.
You're so welcome.
Elizabeth wants to know if you're diabetic.
Nope.
Nope.
Thank you.
It says CGMs are the best invention since the insulin pump.
No, I just wanted to see what it was doing because sorry, I keep getting a little tickle in my throat. So we have the Keto Mojo and we test our ketones. But what I found is the glucose kind of tracks with the ketones. And
It
so
does.
you really only need one because if your glucose is high, your ketones will be low.
CGMs are super fun to use when we're doing experiments, though.
Yeah. Well, and what was nice was like I got to know my own body. I would see the glucose go up a little bit and then I'd be thinking, what am I doing? What just happened? What this? And then I'm like, oh, I'm obviously stressed out. My glucose is going higher because I'm stressed out. Can you not do that right next to us? Thanks. He just grabbed the mosquito repellent and it looked like he was gonna
Please
spray
don't
himself.
spray it by me.
He probably was gonna walk away. So.
Cindy wants to know, are the Go packs of Pina Colada coming soon? Well, Pina Colada is out of stock right now.
Yeah.
Don't know when that's coming back. The Go packs, as explained previously, we have a lot of some of the single packets. And so to make it easier for people to order a bunch of them that we have an overabundance of, we made the Go packs. Not all the flavors have them. The limited edition flavors, they are not available. And the Pina Colada came out as a limited edition and then sold out. So I don't see those coming in a Go pack anytime soon. Jessica said, you said my last name correctly. Hardly anyone says it right. I almost always get Rojas. Just think, there's no J. There's no J. Where's the J? That's okay. People say Blair all the time, too.
Or Baird.
Or Baird. Or Baith. Yeah, Blue says I'm planning to try the NutriSense 2-week CGM thing. Just went ahead and paid that, and I realized my phone doesn't have the necessary interface.
No.
Now I need a new phone. Oh man. Shauna says, did I hear that you were going to incorporate a protein sparing modified fast?
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing. My main way of doing a protein sparing modified fast is going to be I'm going to be using Keto Chow with 10 grams of fat in it.
Yeah, and we're
adding
going
some more protein.
Like I'm gonna write out a menu plan, and what I plan on doing is just writing out the week. I'll show it to you next week, probably Tuesday. I guess we'll start on Monday. But I'll have it written out and show you on Tuesday what we're gonna try. But we're not gonna make a plan for everybody to do until we've played with it ourselves, I think, too.
One of the key things about PSMF is that it's not an everyday thing. It's every couple days. It's a pulse thing.
Yeah, because it's essentially like fasting with
protein. Let's see. Jerry says, to do what you've never done, you must think in ways you've never thought. Yep. This is my mantra. I've been on the standard American diet for 56 years, and moving to keto is a game changer, reversing type 2 diabetes. Yeah. Shauna says, I got a new phone. Then my CGM found my new phone was too new.
Oh, no.
Oh, and Older Pennsylvania says, Amy Berger is one of the most blunt and no-nonsense keto speakers.
Yes.
And she works with Dr. Westman a lot.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Shauna says, I like short versions. Blue says, Barilla. I love that pasta. Their high-protein kind was a half step that I made towards keto a few years back. Yeah. Missy says, I ordered one. Love the variety of the Go Pack. Let's see. Julie says, good morning. Shauna says, I hear so many names sound like mine, and I think, I didn't ask that. Jerry says, do or do not. There is no try. Squish, like grape. Yoda Van West. Older Pennsylvania says, I'm doing this month's plan that Wendy put together. So that's Loving It on Keto.
Oh, yes.
She does have a plan that she put together. So if you want to do her thing, that's awesome.
Yeah, because she has some PSMF days in there and fasting days. And she also has like 14-hour fasts And she says like very specific instructions on when you're fasting, have these things.
Yeah.
So, and then we also know Two Crazy Ketos are doing a chop challenge.
Yeah, with
And
incorporating
so
different types of meats.
they have a calendar of meats to try.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do that too.
KS says life experience and common sense are more important than a degree. In my opinion, much of what is taught is not correct. I would only trust keto doctors. Do your own research and learn by experimenting. Yep. There was something I was going to say regarding that. I can't remember what it was. I had a nugget of wisdom that went along that. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, I think we need to go make some bacon and eggs for the kids.
Water.
Is it out?
No.
Oh, I'm good. Julie says, did you hear hot dogs are cheaper this year? Happy 4th. Yeah, but chicken wings are more expensive. Okay, well, we're going to go. True. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll be on again Monday from here again.
Yep, and if you see Maitreya, tell her happy birthday.
Yay!
Or Sarah Warren.
Guess we could sing happy birthday. Is it both of their birthdays today?
On Sunday.
Okay, well, let's sing happy birthday to Sarah and Maitreya right now, just in case they watch the replay.
Just in case.
1, 2, 5. Happy birthday to you and happy birthday to you all. Happy birthday, Maitreya and Sarah. Happy birthday to you. Okay.